The floodgates have opened, and through them has poured tons of new Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay. A few weeks ago, Ubisoft Bordeaux invited a bunch of creators out to their studio to play Mirage early. Must have misplaced my invitation, I guess. It's okay. It's okay. But the creators who got invited were allowed to release that gameplay yesterday, and there is a lot to digest. I definitely recommend checking out those videos if you haven't yet. I'll leave them linked in the description. Looked like a fun time. I'm fine.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But since there's just so much we saw from this gameplay, I'm just going to summarize some of the biggest things I noticed and what people have been saying about the game. So pretty much the general consensus from the videos I've seen is that this really is an old school style of AC game blended with elements of the new games, which we all expected at this point, right? But the good news, the general consensus I've seen thus far is rather positive. Like, yeah, it's not exactly what those old games were, but it's still really nice to have that shift in philosophy and some of the classic vibes and designs of the original games. One of the first things that immediately caught my eye with the gameplay, and I literally just made a video on this subject, but the assassination animations look fantastic. They're quick, varied, and brutal. There's a couple borrowed from Valhalla, but the new ones look so clean. I'm really loving how they look, and there seems to be a good variety with the animations too, which is huge for me. It might be a small, insignificant thing to a lot of people, but I think it goes a long way. Next, we finally got to see one of the game's main black box assassinations. It seems like everyone who played this did it the same way. There's like a few investigations you have to do to discover the target's identity, which entails eavesdropping and tailing. There's like an auction where you can bid on the item your target wants, and then you go and kill the main target. It's this multifaceted assassination mission. However, in terms of freedom and choice, there didn't seem to be a whole lot of it. Like I said, in every gameplay video I've watched of this mission, everyone did it in the exact same way, which maybe that's the obvious path to follow and that's why, or that's really the only way you can complete the mission. I think a lot of us were hoping the black box missions would be more similar to Unity and Syndicate, where you truly have multiple different ways to assassinate the target, and you're given the freedom to do the mission how you want. But at least from this mission, it looks more like the Siege of Paris black box missions, where you have a set path you need to follow. Which, if that's proven to be true, that's kind of disappointing, but I do still really like having to investigate the target. It's very AC1 in that respect, and similar to AC1, it may end up being pretty linear. But aside from that, Baghdad looks awesome every time I see it. I feel like I have to point it out every single time, but I love the design and look of the city. Can't wait to explore it. It looks so dense too, like it's crazy. We also got some footage of Bazum training to be a hidden one just outside of Alamut. That also looks beautiful. This is an element of the game and story I'm personally very excited for. I really like seeing the training process of becoming a hidden one. It's something the games mostly gloss over, so seeing it in Mirage is gonna be really cool. We even get to see the ring finger sacrifice, which aside from Bayek accidentally doing it to himself in Origins, we never really get to see the protagonist do that. Altair's was long gone by the start of AC1. We can even see Bazum spars against Roshan in the combat tutorial, which looks pretty neat. And to go along with that, something Jayvee mentioned in his video was the tone of the story in Mirage. The narrative has this heavier, more serious tone that's been kind of absent in some of the more recent games, especially in Odyssey that had its abundance of comedy and quirkiness. Everyone has their preference with tone, of course, and for me, Assassin's Creed has always been better when it gets a little darker and takes itself seriously. And that's how it started all the way back in the original game. There will still be moments of levity and comedy within the game, but just knowing it has that more serious tone is like a sigh of relief for me. And then on top of this, we finally got an extended look at Mirage's combat system. We had only seen a few short snippets of it here and there so far. And once again, the general consensus I heard through all these different videos is that Mirage is first and foremost a stealth-focused game. Combat is more of a last resort, because not only is Bazum pretty weak, but he doesn't deal tons of damage in combat either, especially against specific enemy types. In fact, there's this one enemy type where Bazum can't deal damage to them from the front and has to attack from behind or use a tool to create an opening to deal some damage. I really like this. It's going to encourage stealth above all, and while the combat still looks rather simplistic, I think it will serve its purpose well enough. Having the instant counter kills back is really nice as well, although the variety in those animations seems a bit off. As you can see, Bazum has different combat finishers, but a lot of the time this animation plays back to back, which is a bit weird. It looks nice, but it's strange that this animation gets played way more frequently than all the others from the looks of it. Hopefully that's something that can be addressed before the full game's release, but who knows. But along with the combat, we got to see more of how the notoriety system works. I love that enemies will actually chase you in this game until you break line of sight or blend in somewhere. Very classic Assassin's Creed. And those chases hadn't really been a thing as of late. And we saw Mirage's spin on the mercenaries that show up after you get max level notoriety. They can't be one-shot assassinated, and they seem to be really challenging to kill in combat, which is a good thing. It's gonna make you want to avoid getting that max notoriety or force you to run away and try to lose it when you do. We got a lot more footage of the tools, which is still one of the things I'm most looking forward to with this game. We got to see some more of the upgrades for them as well. I love that you can use the smoke bomb and instantly assassinate enemies after that, instead of the game forcing you to remain in combat. I think that's great, and I'm loving the look and use of the throwing knives. I think these tools are really what's going to help elevate Mirage's stealth over the last few games. And then obviously the outfits and customization is something I've been very excited about. We got to see some more of the unique outfits that look incredible. They aren't all just assassin robes, which is nice to have that variety in the different looks for Bazum. And there seems to be a lot of unique color schemes with the different dyes. We got a more extended look at the skill tree. It's fairly small, nothing too crazy, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And again, I like that the progression is linear and story-based like the old games. This game for me just continues to look better the more we see of it, and we are just a few weeks away from release now, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. Go check out those videos from the creators who played the game. Looks like they all had a good time. I'm sure I would have had a good time too. I'm fine. I swear guys, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm so fine. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
No, but seriously, I'm fine. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and considered subscribing to the channel if you're new. And other than that, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day, Assassins. I'm telling you, I'm fine.